Welcome to the Superior Comic Show and welcome to my kitchen. I'm giving up on the flashy backgrounds for a while till I get a better camera that can go with my laptop and work with them flashy backgrounds. Flashy backgrounds are great, but there's no point in losing out on quality. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about Loki today. But first, before I do that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 350, almost at that giveaway. And then we'll push on to the 500 and maybe do another one at that. I've been posting a lot of shorts recently rather than full videos. It's just timing. Very prevalent on TikTok at the moment. And the show, yes, has been delayed by 2 weeks, but I promise by next week it's going to be back to its weekly basis. Anyhow, so Loki episode 1 released there yesterday. And we've seen the trailer beforehand and we've seen the proof in the episode that Loki in the MCU is now canonically gender fluid. So what does this mean? For anyone who doesn't know, Loki can change his gender on a whim, on a day-to-day basis. Wherever he feels inside, that's who he is. He can be, his pronouns could be he, him one day, she, her the next. And I've seen a lot of people aren't happy. And my thing is, these people who are claiming to not be happy about it are the same people who have been calling out for comic accuracy for years. This is it, folks. This is comic accuracy at its purest. Loki in the comics is gender fluid. He's known to go from Loki to Lady Loki. There's also been Kid Loki. It's his thing. In the movies so far, all we've seen is him use his shape-shifting abilities to disguise himself rather than to be who he feels he is. Like in the comics, in Original Sin back in 2014, Loki and Thor go to a world run by women, and Thor pronounces, "'Tis a land full of fair maidens," to which Loki responds, "Sometimes I am too," which is pretty cool. So in that sense, Loki has always been gender fluid, and I think nowadays a great, back when he was a villain, maybe not, but great champion for that branch of the LGBTQ plus community. But what does it mean going forward? What changes will that make to the MCU and to our comics and to our heroes? Absolutely fucking none. It makes zero difference to ourselves, any cis white people, any cis people of colour. It makes zero difference. It's just sometimes Loki's a woman, sometimes Loki's a man. Sometimes Loki's a snake who wants to stab you. That's the thing. I don't get the backlash of annoyance and the fury at Loki being gender fluid when it makes zero difference to any of our favourite characters. And it's the most comic accurate we've gotten of Loki in the MCU. Like, Odin can accept it. Now, back in Original Sin as well, Odin, speaking to his 3 children, says, "My son, my daughter, my child who is sometimes both." You know what I mean? Odin can accept it. The biggest narrow-minded person in Marvel, why can't we? Loki being gender fluid is going to have incredible storylines going forward. Tom Hiddleston has said that he knew about this when he first signed on to be Loki, and he knew there was a plan in place to bring this to the forefront, which is great. Love Tom Hiddleston, always a champion of inclusion. And it's going to be amazing. And the Loki TV series, I didn't want to get too much into it in this video because I am planning on talking about it on the show next week. But with that, spoiler alert, I do believe that the other variant that they're chasing may be Lady Loki. They said it is Loki. I think it may be Lady Loki. And I think we're going to really experience Loki's gender fluidity as the series goes on. And to all you people out there who are gender fluid and are seeing this on screen for the first time in the MCU or in a comic book movie, how do you feel about it? I really want to know. I really want to know how you feel about it. If you're happy about it, if you're indifferent about it, or if you don't like it. Personally, I think it's a great step forward, but as I said, I'm a cis white man. I can't really speak too much on it. I haven't got the same experiences. But Loki has always been gender fluid, and has just been mentioned now. That's all. That's the main difference. It's basically Loki being mentioned as gender fluid is the same as Daredevil being mentioned as a Christian or Catholic. It's a part of their character, it's part of who they are. So with that, this is probably seeming maybe preachy video, and I apologize for that. But I just wanted to get into it. I just wanted to talk about it and show these examples of when Loki was gender fluid in the comics and why this is comic accurate. So yeah, that's really all. The show should be out next week. I'm deciding whether to change the day from a Wednesday or not. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Until then, stay safe. And if I've angered anyone out there, in the words of the subject of this video, what can I say? I'm a mischievous scamp.